Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 4 of my Agrarian Skies Hardcore Quest Let's Play. This game pack by Jadedcat is available on the Feed the Beast launcher. So, I was planning on doing a bunch of platform expansion between episodes. However, I realized that I don't really have the materials to do that at the moment, and I wanted to show what I'm going to be doing to generate them. I am going to start with cobblestone, and I'm going to replace it later. But rather than sit here with my pick, picking a bunch of cobblestone out of the ground, I am going to build a machine to do that for me. I have been sifting a whole bunch of gravel, as you can see. In fact, I'm capping out on broken iron ore, which is kind of awesome. Let's start cooking that. I have myself a couple extra diamonds now, which is necessary. What I'm going to be making to make this all work is the terrain smasher, which is going to use some of my invar tin, a servo, and a piston. So, to make the servo and the piston, I'm definitely going to need a little bit of redstone. And what that terrain smasher is going to output into is actually going to be the part of the first step for the hoarding, a barrel, a better barrel from Java. So, and I don't have anything that I need for that. That's okay. So let's get going and start working on making this a reality. Now, like I said, I'm using the cobblestone for now. I'm going to go back and replace it with something prettier later on. But for the moment, this will do. And I'm actually going to start building off of this side. So let me get just a little bit built so that I can have myself some trees. Because that peach tree is going to be a permanent resident right there. So that every morning I can come outside and pick my breakfast off of the peach tree. Doesn't that sound lovely? I like to have a good 3 blocks out from where the tree is planted, because that makes it much less likely that I will accidentally fall to my death. And I made it through most of last season without falling to my death very much, and I'd like to continue that. There. Isn't it beautiful? Get the oak sapling down there. Alright, so now I'm going to farm myself up some trees, get myself some materials together that I thought I had already, and clearly do not. I'm also going to get my iron cooking. Yeah, that's what I thought. You cannot cook the gravel. You have to use the dust. Excellent. So yeah, I'll be back soon. Okay, I have my 2 terrain smashers together and the materials I need to finish that first for the hoarding quest. Let's get a better barrel made, which I'm going to need to build myself a chest for. And I'm actually going to need 2 of these barrels. So I may as well make them both right now. And those are just any log with a chest in the middle and a slab on top. 2 better barrels. I want 1 storage upgrade, which is going to take a couple of pistons. I'm going to use aluminium to make the pistons, as it is cheaper than iron, in my opinion. Do I have more of that stuff lying around? No, I should probably smelt some up. I'm sure I have plenty in here. Yeah, actually a stack and a half of broken aluminium ore. Pretty good. Alright, I wanted Java. Where were we? I need to make myself a storage upgrade, which requires those 2 pistons. And I need to make myself a structural Mark 1 upgrade, which is just fences and planks. Very simple. Come on, game. Work for me here. Not a sticker, a structural upgrade. There we go. And a storage upgrade. And there we have it. Now, if I take a look at my quest book, I will see that for the hoarding is 2% complete. I have finished storage wars, and now I'm going to take the middle, store my heart, and use my basic reward bag. I got 16 fireworks. There are not even words to describe. Ooh, I had bones hanging out in there. Cool, I'm running low on bone meal. Probably regret that. Okay, so I'm going to set up the terrain smasher, the first one, right there. And I'm going to use my crescent hammer, which is not in my inventory where I want it to be, to rotate that so that it is facing in a useful direction. There we go. This front bit right there, that is the smashy bit. If I toss a bit of cobblestone in front of it, it will smash it and try to output it out wherever I have that orange configured to be. Thing is, let's see, right now the orange is configured on the back. So it'll be facing away from wherever that orange dot is. Meaning, if I stick my barrel right here, it will output that one cobble and start gathering more for me. Now, the great thing about better barrels, they start able to hold 64 stacks. But as you've seen, they're upgradable. If I throw the structural upgrade on it, by shift right-clicking, well, upgrade slots 1 out of 1, structure level 1. And now if I throw the storage upgrade on it, while I'm holding an upgrade, I can see the structure level and the different upgrades on it and all of that that's available. If I throw the storage upgrade on it, well, now it can hold 128 stacks, which is great because I'm going to need a ton of cobblestone before this map is over. So I'm just going to keep upgrading a better barrel and feeding tons and tons and tons of cobble into it. Later on, well, I haven't decided if I'm going to use deep storage units or if I'm going to work on long-term barrels. But once I have a little bit more room to work with, which is this is providing for me slowly but surely, then I'm going to be able to expand this to work on both of these terrain smashers, and maybe I'll even make 2 more. If I really work at it, I bet I can make a pretty elaborate cobble gen out of that water and that lava. And it would be kind of fun to do that. So you guys let me know if I should build a really elaborate cobble gen or if I should just skip over that and get straight to the igneous extruder. Alright, so while that's producing some cobblestone for me, let's take a look at the quest book and see what's next. We're not going to get into applied energistics digital storage anytime soon. I need power generation, I need more resources than I have. All of that's an issue. Back on learning to skyblock, I'm still waiting for the mob spawner for a lot of these, but I can get a couple of easy things. For example, if I build the sifter, I get a free reward bag and a bit of a heart out of it, so why not? Because that's a pretty easy one. Yeah, fishing net, and then wood. So, make myself another net, which I already have more of than I absolutely need. And 1 sifter. Now, is that everything I needed for that quest? I cannot remember. Yes, it was. 3rd reward bag, randomly selected by sheer haste. And it's a good one, which got me 4 blood saplings. That is fantastic. And I will show you why later on, but that's an amazing early find. I'm pretty happy about that. If you have been following Bevo's Agrarian Skies series, then you will know exactly why I'm so excited about that. That's right, that one's soul sand and ender pearl. This one, I'm basically waiting on the mob spawner at this point. So, you know what I'm going to do? Rather than wait entirely for the mob spawner, there's this repeatable quest to kill zombies. Well, for one, I'm going to light up this area so that nothing spawns where I don't want it to. That would have been funny. And by not like funny haha, more like funny oh god, why am I dying? I'm going to build a little platform over here where some monsters can spawn inside of a little room for me. And I'm going to make it a little 7x7 area. This will be the first and only time I do large-scale construction on camera without speeding it up. I just wanted to show you guys the method that I use so that you can see I do in fact know how to do this without falling off. There we go. Now, the major advantage of that terrain smasher isn't that it's creating cobblestone very, very fast. It's that it's creating cobblestone and I don't have to pay attention to it. It is creating cobblestone all the time. So by the time I use a stack, I can come back and collect another one. There. I'm actually going to want one right there, I think. Yeah, that'll do it. I'm going to make the ceiling on this thing 3 high so that Endermen can spawn inside. Or at least the walls. So the interior ends up being 5x5, but it should be just large enough for monsters to spawn. There won't be a ton of them. I don't need a ton of them. What I need is a safe place that I can come back and kill them with my sword. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to come back once this is complete because it's basically there and we're at the boring part now. See you in a minute. There we have it, all finished up. And if I seal the entrance, you can see plenty of spawnable area in here. So all I need to do is leave this sealed up and be on the other end of the platform. Specifically, I'm currently at north-south 1482. I need to be at around 1460-ish for monsters to be able to spawn there, because they will not spawn within, I think it's 22 blocks of the player. In any case, if I get all the way out there and I adjust the zoom level, the monster radar is on and it should show mob spawning there. There we go. Maybe. Anyway, it's not going to be a guarantee because there's so little area, but you can see that a creeper already spawned in there. Fantastic. So I'm going to wait for some zombies to spawn in there and kill them manually while I'm waiting for the cobblestone to, you know, kind of slowly accrue. There's a skeleton. Awesome. Back in a bit as this guy does his job. I let another stack or so of cobblestone accrue and some zombies spawned for me. Now I'll show you how I'm planning on taking care of this issue. Basically, just going to open that up, and oh wait, you know what? I don't have a sword. I should be using a sword for this. It will be better. So, all I need to do is get myself that aluminum brass on the bottom, and I'm going to melt up a bit of invar so that I have something nice to make the sword out of. At least I'm pretty sure I can use an invar sword blade. No I cannot. Put that invar back and use some iron instead. I'm going to need... You know what? I've got that full guard cast. Yeah, we'll use that. I'm going to need to head back in here and get myself a proper sword tool. So where is the sword blade pattern? There we go. And make this out of stone so that I can cast myself a sword blade cast. And while I'm at it, make certain that I can actually make the the cutlass, which I would need to check the tool station for. Does not seem as if I'm capable of doing that before I upgrade the tool station. So, let's get that tool station upgraded. To upgrade the tool station, if I hit U on that, you'll see that I need to use steel blocks, cobalt, or ardite. However, or magnesium. Huh, you know what? They might have removed what I was attempting to do. Hang on. Be right back. Okay, they did indeed properly limit the tool forge to only be craftable with steel. I'm not... Well, you know what? I bet I could make some steel. I've got the basics. So to create steel, I'm going to need 4 blocks of this stuff, but I should be able to do that. If I look in steelworking in you need to use your high oven, and you need to combine iron with, as it says, gunpowder, redstone, and sand. Well, I've got the ability to generate all of that, and in fact I have gunpowder, redstone, and sand right here. So I might as well start making steel immediately. Why wait? And specifically I'm going to need at least 4 blocks, but I'm going to make 4 more than that, or, well, I'm going to make a total of 12 because it's a nice, you know, odd number and fits into here. Going to need more charcoal before anything else, which I believe I have a bunch lying around in a furnace somewhere. Or am I misremembering things? I'm probably remembering a server, because I've started on a couple of servers recently. Alright, that's okay. Easy fix. Doesn't take much charcoal to do a... Hello. And that's why you want to leave that thing closed while you're not actively working on it. Did I get that last bit of wood? I did. Good, good. Now, coal is basically free at this point. Like, I'm going to be generating tons of it over time. I'm no longer going to use charcoal to burn in furnaces. However, I cannot use coal in the high oven. I tried that. It does not work. It is a sad, sad day, but it does not work. There we go. Now that skeleton can no longer try to knock me off the edge while I'm farming down this tree. So I'm going to wait for that, some charcoal to burn up. I'm going to get myself some steel made. Once I have that cooking, I'll pop back in and show you the exact recipe in the high oven. Alrighty, got my block of charcoal. One block of charcoal, luckily, will burn just about forever. So, you see these three symbols. They correspond to the three different types of materials you need to put into the high oven. Here we go. Steel working in you. They correspond to the oxidizers, reducers, and purifiers. And it shows you right in the Steelworking in You book exactly what order to put everything in. However, those symbols are used on the page behind oxidizer, reducer, and purifier. As such, let's see, what did I need? I needed it to be gunpowder, redstone, sand. So, gunpowder in the top, redstone in the middle, and sand on the bottom. I'm hoping this will be enough to actually do all 12 blocks. We'll find out, though. So, the other thing about steel is it needs to get up to, I believe, 4,000? You need to have at least a 4-high oven to be able to make the steel specifically, because that's what you need to melt down the blocks of iron, if I remember correctly. So that's going to take a bit of a minute, but that's okay. While we're waiting, I can pour myself that iron sword blade. But I'm going to wait a minute. Actually, I'm going to wait until after. I'm going to make sure that I don't need to use the large blade for the cutlass. I cannot remember, and I just might. But we are going to get our 3 iron ingots in there. And we're going to make a... actually, we'll get 2 more, because I know I'll need at least that many. And I'm going to put a stick in there. I'm going to make myself a tool rod cat. Of course not. I'm going to have to make a stone tool rod because of reasons. I guess, you know, pouring molten metal on a stick is probably a bad idea, but hey. So the only use of the stone tool rod, well, I guess you could use it to make some stone torches. I don't like them, though. I prefer the wooden torches. And I don't even like those. I prefer to replace those as quickly as possible. So I'm going to get a tool rod cast, and I'm going to make myself an iron tool rod to go with this as well, because it'll be better than the wooden tool rod. Make myself a full iron cutlass. And besides, if you want a proper sword, you should have a full metal haft. It's just how it goes. Or tang, I believe, is the word that I'm looking for. Okay. While I'm waiting, one other thing that I do need is some obsidian. And it was pointed out to me that I can actually make obsidian rather easily by putting a bucket of lava into this stone barrel here, which is going to need to be inside for this to happen. Boop, boop. And then just running some water over the top of it very quickly. That did not actually work. Boy, it's not liking that at all. Ah, it needs to actually run there for a second. I see. So a bit of a mess to do that, but now I have that bit of obsidian that I wanted. This isn't going to be great for large-scale production. I mean, I suppose you could probably set something up to pump lava in and do that. It would be a bit of a mess, though, I think. Wow. What happened to you? Why did you stop? Hang on a moment. Oh, you know what happened? It picked up the tool rod because the terrain smashers will grab spare items that are lying around nearby. And I'm not entirely certain why, and I've never found a good way to exploit that fact, but they will. There we go. Now it's functioning again. Fantastic. And you are producing steel. And I have 6 blocks of it already. Fantastic. I need seared bricks, don't I? Let's go get that tool forge upgraded. Or that tool station upgraded into a tool forge. That's what I mean. Forge. Yep, seared bricks. 3 seared bricks, 4 blocks of steel, and a tool station makes a tool forge. Pretty happy with episode 4 tool forge. That works out for me. So, the cutlass, where are you? Longsword? Hang on. I know it exists. Is it hidden? Is it going to be like that? Alright, let me look this up. Be right back. Okay, double checked, and it is in fact a quote-unquote hidden recipe. Not, you know, super well hidden, but it's still considered not... You don't get the full info anywhere. So, going to make my parts, make sure that the iron that I just cooked up, which is rather hard for me to distinguish from the seared stone because of color blindness, on the bottom. And it uses the exact same pattern as the broadsword, except with a full guard, which takes 3 bars of iron or anything else to create. Here we go. Probably didn't actually need to make that tool forge, but that's okay. I did. It's there, and now I can make myself a lumber axe, which will make life a lot more useful. I mean, a lot easier for me. So, iron sword, iron handle, iron cutlass. Plus 7 attack damage is pretty fantastic. And I believe the cutlass has a special extra to it that's not showing here, where it has a chance of... Well, I mean, you can use it to guard, just like a broadsword, and I believe it has a chance to critical even when you are not jumping, which saves a lot on the food. So, now that I have myself a cutlass, open that up and start killing the guys. Why not let the creepers do some of the work for you? Well, you don't want to let the creepers do too much of the work for you, or else when you go into learning the skyblock, you'll find that you did not actually kill the zombies yourself. However, half a heart and 4 apples. And I can repeat this quest in 1 day and 13 hours, which is more or less 30 minutes, because this is based in... Oh, resets every 4 days. So that's every 4 days in-game, which is an hour, 20 minutes. Yeah, you can repeat this quest quite a lot. So you have, effectively, an endless source of apples and hearts if you're willing to fight some monsters to get them. So, just wanted to show how to get that going real quick while we were waiting for more cobblestone. I'm up to 10 stacks of the stuff already, and a whole bunch of steel. And I suppose as long as I have a bunch of steel, I should make myself some initial armor, because I have lots of steel. So, now I have some basic protective wear, and can stop running around naked while trying to fight monsters. Some pretty significant protective gear, actually. And that completes another quest, the heavy armor quest, which gives me another quarter of a heart and basic reward bag. In the basic bag, I find 4 darkwood saplings. Not nearly as fun and useful as the bloodwood that I just found a little while ago. But that's okay. Alright. Be back in just a moment. Okay, so let me show you what my plans are with all of this cobblestone. First off, I'm going to make myself a bit of a way down. And the way I was planning on using for that, this is one method that was suggested in my first series. Huh, that all should have turned to cobblestone as far as I'm aware. And I don't know why it didn't. So let's try putting it here. That lava is not turning into cobblestone the way I was promised it would. Alright, you know what? Forget it. This is a bad idea anyway, because it would have caused a giant mess of lava. We will use a different method, and that method is going to be the rope ladder, which some of you have already used in your worlds, I'm certain. Rope ladder is really simple to make. A bunch of sticks and a bunch of string. And the great thing about the rope ladder is... Hang on, I'm going to make my... stop this water and lava from going down to the void. Because it's messy and I don't like it. Actually, we're going to have to do one of these if I want to stop this. And the other side, I'm just going to have to wait and be patient. I don't do patience very well, if you haven't noticed. I don't like it. There. Now that can flow there and stop flowing all the way down to the void, which should save me a bit of graphical lag. Anyway, we're going to take that rope ladder, and we're going to place it right here. And as you can see, that creates a nice rope ladder that goes all the way down until it hits something. And because I am paranoid, I'm going to make myself a chest that I'm going to stick next to that ladder, where I can just kind of dump everything that I have that I don't need to take with me. when I go down it. Which in this case is most things. You know what? I can convert those logs into planks to make more room. I don't care about like a stone hammer and stuff. I only care about keeping valuable things that are hard to remake, because you can get a quest book just from a piece of string. So yeah. Okay. When you go down the ladder, it works just like a ladder. And even though there's nothing on the other side of this, I can climb up it. I can even hold shift to pause my descent. It's still a little hairy and a little scary, but that's only because I'm not used to this one. I much prefer the safety of the water ladder, but that's okay. That's only because I'm used to it. Now, what am I planning on doing? Well, I'm making all of this cobblestone, ugly block that it is, so that I can get an initial automated monster spawner. Because as great as it is to have that little guy over there creating some mobs for me, I know that I can do a lot more and better. And this time I want to build it underneath me, because I've got some fun ideas as far as that's concerned. And to do so, I'm going to go down quite a few blocks, actually. I'm currently at 70, and I want most of them to die in the fall, which means they need to drop a good bit. But I also want them to be able to spawn and move. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go down 20 blocks so that I'm at Y50. And that's going to be the first layer. Hang on. Now, I use my hammer to smash some of this cobble so that I can actually step up onto it. Is that the proper space? No. I'm at 51. That's okay. Easy fix. Well, easy-ish. Oh boy. And if you've seen my last series, this is going to be a similar monster spawner, but with a much different layout. This is going to be the first floor, basically. And I've done some even more research into the way that mobs spawn. If I want to collect 99% of potential spawns, I only need to have this to be a 10 block radius, but I can collect 85% of potential spawns with a 6 block radius. So we're going to start, the first layer is going to be quite large. 2, 3. Oh, I didn't bring any torches down here. You know what? That's a mistake, actually. If I hit F7, I'll see that. Oh, no, even that's too far away. Okay, so we're going to head back upstairs and get some torches, and then come back down here and try to clear it out and hope that a skeleton doesn't spawn and kill me. I should be within range of that particular block while I'm right here, that nothing bad will happen, but there's no promises. Ooh. Sorry, an Enderman spawned over there. I want to go take care of that immediately, because that is good for me. Ah, I love it. Just taunt a creeper into exploding. Okay. Killed the zombie. When you're fighting Endermen, try to target their feet. It prevents them from teleporting quite as much. Alright. Fantastic. Got 2 of them. One of them dropped me an Ender Pearl. So now all I need is some soul sand, which I can make pretty easily once I get some more automation going. So actually building this little dark room has been pretty useful right off the bat. I'm not unhappy about that. Fantastic. Okay. Doesn't look like anything spawned down there. Good, good. Got my torches, got a little bit of cobblestone to start, which is all I need. And let me show you how I'm going to define the first floor, basically. It's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 more. I hope no one is acrophobic. So, F7 to see what will spawn where. There we go. And I think that now, yep, this whole chain is lit. So the first floor where is going to be right here at Y50. And I'm going to expand a few floors underneath this. I'm not going to do all this on camera. Instead, I'm just going to... I wanted to show you where the initial setup was going to start. And I'm probably going to hop on a live stream and finish this up. And then next episode of YouTube Agrarian Skies, I will do a bit of a tour of what I've built and show you how well it's doing for me. Oh, and hey, with that ender pearl and the bit of obsidian I have, I can make the vacuum hopper. That's pretty sweet. And I'm pretty sure that's all I need to... That's what I really needed to finish up the automation quest. So we'll get that finished just before I sign off. Let me grab the vacuum hopper and aqueous accumulator stuff. Alright, your aqueous accumulator uses a machine frame, which is easiest to make with iron, gold, and glass at the start. You can use aluminum, but I don't have that much available at the moment. You can also use steel if you happen to be producing an overabundance of the stuff for some reason. And then all you need is some tin and a pneumatic servo and an empty bucket, all of which I have available. The vacuum hopper is even easier. You just combine a hopper with a bit of ender pearl and obsidian. And there you have it. Complete this quest, take the third bag, which is a good bag, and got me 8 fish jerky. Fantastic. Fish jerky is not bad early on. It has very high saturation value, so it'll keep you fed for quite a while. Pretty nice. Aqueous accumulator will generate water from thin air if you leave it out in the open, very slowly. Or if you stick it in the middle of a couple of water source blocks, will generate water extremely rapidly. And the vacuum hopper, if placed, will gather any items that are dropped nearby. That's going to be the key to further automation, because with that right next to my oak sieve, I don't need to be here collecting things. The vacuum hopper will happily do that for me. And I can even tell it, if I open up this and right-click and pull, to output items to the bottom into this chest. So, for example, if I were to toss my gunpowder into there, it would get spat out into there. Pretty fancy. Very happy with that. Alright, so that's going to be all the time that we have for today. Got all of my prep and an initial monster spawner build. I'm going to start up a live stream, which, you know, telling you that here probably doesn't help, but hopefully you guys will see the notification through annotations or on Twitter and be able to join me. And I'm going to get the monster spawner built, and next time I'll come back to show you how I'm going to hook up all of the automation for collecting the drops and such. I can promise you that it will likely involve more vacuum hopper. For now, I have better plans for collecting these drops and such for the future. So, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. You will find in the description of this video links to my Twitch channel as well as to my Patreon campaign. So, check those out if you're interested. I will see you next time.